Breaking news in, the 7 Years' War, also known as the French Indian War, has just ended. This war, lasting from 1754 to 1763, a total of 7 years between British and French forces, was caused by an ongoing frontier tensions in North America, as both French and British imperial officials and colonists who sought to extend each country's sphere of influence in frontier regions. The two countries have been battling in Europe, India, and North America as well. But finally, the two have agreed upon a treaty. Over to Big Mike now for the details about this recent treaty.
Thank you, Dawson. The Treaty of Paris was signed in Paris by representatives of King George III of Great Britain and representatives of the United States of America on September 3, 1783, which ended the American Revolutionary War. This was signed to bring peace to Great Britain and the nations that support the American cause. This treaty also gave the French all mainland of North America territories except for New Orleans. Britain got all territory east of Mississippi River and exchanged East and West Florida for Cuba over to.
Now on to the parliamentary legislation, which was very unpopular in North America. The parliamentary legislation consists of many acts. One of the acts is the Sugar Act, which took place in 1764 and was a parliament of Great Britain. The Sugar Act is a imposition of taxes on molasses and was meant to raise revenue to help defray the military costs of protecting the American colonies in a time where Great Britain in a huge debt problem due to the 7 Years' War. This act helped Great Britain from their debt problem, but so did other acts.
Now we'll be going to the Quartering Act. On 1765, the Parliament passed the Quartering Act, outlining the locations and conditions in which the British soldiers are to find room and board the American colonies. If the barracks in which the British soldiers were housed were too small, then they would be housed in local inns, livery stables, alehouses, and the houses of cellars of wine. Some officials are legitimately concerned about protecting the colonies from attack and viewed this law as a logical means to do so. If the colonies were to be protected, why should they not pay for the soldiers? In particular, the British ministry was faced with the prospect of bringing home the French and Indian War veterans and providing them with pay and pensions. Back to you, Dawson.
Thanks, Jordan, for reporting on the Quartering Act. We will now be talking about the Tea Act. The Tea Act was an act of the Parliament of Great Britain. This act again was needed because of the debt of Great Britain and the 7 Years' War. This act was a tax on tea, which many colonists disliked, and this act was the cause of the Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party was when the colonists dumped a cargo of tea into the Boston Harbor as an act of rebelling. On to Big Mike now.
For reporting on the Tea Act. Now we will be talking about the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights was made in 1689. This bill established consent of the Parliament is required for the implementation of any new taxes. This is where colonists got the slogan, "No taxation without representation." The Bill of Rights was proposed by James Madison. On to Jordan now on the Battle of Lexington.
Once again, thanks, Big Mike. Now we'll be covering the gruesome Battle of Lexington. The Battle of Lexington is a military conflict between the Kingdom of Great Britain and its 13 colonies in North America and the American Revolutionary War. The Battle of Lexington Green in 1775 started the American Revolution and the shot heard around the world. The battlefield in which the British and American forces are fighting during the Battle of Lexington was located in the village of Lexington in Middlesex County, province of Massachusetts Bay. General Thomas Gage, the military governor of Massachusetts, is aware that the colonists in the province of Massachusetts Bay are preparing for conflict, including the production of arms and munitions and the training of militia, including the Minutemen. On April 14, 1775, General Thomas Gage received instructions from Secretary of State William Legge, the Earl of Dartmouth, to disarm the rebels and to imprison the leaders of the rebellion.
Now on to the Declaration of Independence that was written on July 4, 1776. This declaration was implemented by Thomas Jefferson, declaring that all 13 colonies are now independent states. However, Britain wasn't very happy, which caused the Battle of Yorktown. On to Jordan now.
Thanks, Big Mike. We will now be discussing the Battle of Yorktown. In this battle between the Great Britain and the colonists was the last war between the two. Great Britain had finally surrendered to the colonists. With the help of the French forces under command of George Washington in 1780, finally made Great Britain surrender. In 1783, the British government finally recognized American independence with the Peace of Paris.
That's all, folks. That's all.